Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for joining us for another edition of our 6 p.m. news over Camdis Television. Let's begin with our headlines. Cameroon's Minister of Finance Louis-Paul Mutaze represented President Paul Biya at the extraordinary CEMAC summit that took place in Congo this Thursday, presided over by President Denis Sassou Nguesso. The heads of state discussed measures to tackle economic and monetary challenges, agreeing on debt clearance, centralizing extractive funds at the BEAC, and ensuring greater budget forum in Darfur. The Central African January 22nd, 2026 in Congo, Brazzaville for an extraordinary summit as the heads of state gathered to tackle pressing economic, financial and monetary challenges facing the sub-region. Convened by President Denis Sassou Nguesso, the summit saw Cameroon's President Paul Biya represented by the Finance Minister Louis-Paul Mutaze, as Bertrand Tita tells us in the following report.
The summit comes at a time of heightened uncertainty, with CEMAC economies grappling with persistent inflation, fragile public finances and dwindling foreign exchange reserves. The region's leaders are expected to discuss concerted measures to preserve microeconomic stability, strengthen national resilience, and mitigate the impact of external shocks. The Bank of Central African States (BIAC) faces pressure to maintain stability while supporting threatened social stability. Rising debt levels and looming repayment obligations threaten fiscal sustainability. Several CEMAC member states are struggling to service their debt. Raising import essential goods and services is under threat, exacerbating economic hardship. Over-resilience on commodities diversification is urgent, but progress has been slow. Leaders must balance national interests with regional cohesion, ensuring that policy decisions prioritize stability and inclusive growth. The stakes are high and the room for error is slim. CEMAC's leaders must demonstrate bold leadership and a commitment to regional solidarity if they are to navigate the...
From Madoshe Kwiate and Sharon Arahtan.
Cameroon is making significant strides in addressing flooding and improving living conditions in Douala and Yaoundé. The country has aligned a 100 billion francs CFA financing agreement with the French Development Agency, AFD, to tackle these issues.
The minister, the agreement between IFD and the state of Cameroon has been signed yesterday, and we have been working on the project against flooding in the cities of Douala and Yaoundé. This is a project of an amount of 100 billion of francs CFA. It will allow to drain the water and avoid the flood in both cities. But it will allow us also to build some sportive and social area, urban area, and also to have a better anticipation of the risk of flooding.
The Minister of Housing and Urban Development, Celestine Kechakutes, emphasized the need for immediate action.
Change, the increasement of the population, the high urbanization, the situation of occupation of our city was not so good. And as the head of state said, with this sacred mission, the condition of the population of Douala and Yaoundé will change. With this new financement, will be added on PVGFD that I launched last week for 121 billion francs CFA, and for Yaoundé, we will meet also Cœur de Ville, which has started for more than 40 billion. That means today was a celebration of the promises of the head of state who support us for the maturation of this project.
Aligning with President Paul Biya's vision of major infrastructure projects to enhance citizens' lives, the project, part of the flood control project in Yaoundé and Douala, aims to protect over 2 million people from flood risks and improve access to urban services.
Let's now talk something else in society, where although recent rains have watered some areas in the city of Yaoundé, dust still lingers, threatening the respiratory health of individuals as dry season deepens. Tiny particles in the air can trigger coughing, allergies, and more serious lung issue. But with simple precautions, individuals can protect themselves and breathe easier. It is in this light that Fredi Esomo and Melanimbo caught up with some health experts and put together the following report.
As the dry season set in, residents are being warned to take precautions against the health effects of dust. With dust particles filling the air, it becomes increasingly difficult for people to breathe easily. Often suffer from pathologies that worsen, particularly affecting the respiratory system. We can experience cold and exacerbations of people with asthma. We can also experience eye problems such as conjunctivitis due to increased exposure to dust in the environment. Additionally, there are several diseases that can be transmitted during this period. One of the most effective ways to protect ourselves from dust is by beat respiratory problems like asthma and other breathing difficulties.
Il y a également d'autres maladies ou plutôt d'autres pathologies ou d'autres symptômes.
Other pathologies or symptoms that can occur during the dry season include skin problems such as dry skin and chapped lips. To prevent these issues, it is essential to stay hydrated by drinking plenty of water, at least 2 liters a day. It is also crucial to take any illness seriously and consult a healthcare professional if you are not feeling well. Whether it is cough, fever, headache, or other symptoms, they can provide an accurate diagnosis and reassuring treatment.
Bon diagnostic pour qu'on puisse vous rassurer si c'est qu'il n'y a aucune crainte à avoir, pour qu'on puisse vous donner le traitement adéquat pour la maladie détectée.
The scarcity of water during the dry season also increases the risks of diarrhea diseases. To mitigate these risks, health experts advise people to wash their fruit, vegetables thoroughly with potable water before consumption. If you can wear a mask, do so. Also, for diarrhea disease, since water is scarce, it is advised to wash vegetables and fruit before consumption with potable water. It is, however, important to note that if you're experiencing any symptoms like coughing, sneezing, or difficulty in breathing, you should seek medical attention immediately.
Let's now take a tour out of the country. First stop will be in Switzerland, as you heard in one of our lead stories. U.S. President Donald Trump has this Thursday, January 22nd, 2026, launched the Board of Peace at the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland, saying it aims to address global conflict beyond the Israel-Hamas ceasefire. Although 59 countries have joined, the initiative has faced uncertainty, with Trump insisting it will work alongside the United Nations. Second stop will be in Sudan and then Burkina Faso. These stories are compiled in the following report. U.S. President Donald Trump has this Thursday unveiled his controversial Board of Peace at the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland, presenting it as a new platform to address global conflict beyond its original focus on the Israel-Hamas ceasefire. Trump said 59 countries have joined the initiative, though skepticism over its mandate and membership has kept several traditional Western allies away, with analysts noting that few participating states are democracies despite backing from countries such as Turkey, Egypt, Saudi Arabia, and Qatar. While he has previously suggested the board could one day replace some United Nations functions, Trump adopted a more conciliatory tone in Davos, saying it would operate alongside the UN amid ongoing violence and a worsening humanitarian crisis in Gaza. the Children, a non-governmental organization, has reported that nearly 3 years of war in Sudan have kept more than 8 million children out of school for almost 500 days, making it one of the longest education disruptions in the world. The NGO said the conflict, which began in April 2023 between the army and the Rapid Support Forces, has forced many schools to close, be destroyed, or serve as shelters for displaced families, with North Darfur among the worst affected areas. With teachers leaving due to unpaid salaries, the organization warned that without urgent action and investment, Sudan risks losing an entire generation of children to a future defined by conflict. Eastern Burkina Faso has once again been shaken by deadly violence as a jihadist attack on a police unit in Barka left at least 11 officers dead, exposing the continued insecurity despite official claims of progress. Security sources said several hundred fighters stormed the detachment, killing 7 officers instantly, while 4 later died of their injuries, with the Al-Ghouta-linked group for the support of its new military directive, after which police forces withdrew the Diapangu, reflecting the opaque response of the ruling junta led by Captain Ibrahim Traoré, who maintains that much of the country has been reconquered, even as a conflict that began in 2015 continues to claim tens of thousands of lives. Back to the country over in the Southwest region, the governor of the Southwest region, Bernard Okalia Bilai, is backing the 31st Mount Cameroon Race of Hope by chairing the first preparatory session of local committee, scheduled to take place on February 21st, 2026. The event is expected to draw athletes and spectators from around the world. Bertrand Tita takes us to Boya in the film report.
Addressing members of the 14 committees tasked with ensuring the success of the event, Governor Bernard Okalia Bilai emphasized the need for full engagement and commitment to meeting the high standard that the Mount Cameroon Race of Hope has come to represent, an instruction the committee members welcomed.
We have started preparing for the 31st edition of the Mount Cameroon Race of Hope. We started by selecting the dates of the race, which is stipulated for the 21st of February 2026. After having the dates, the Federation came in as a family to select the athletes who will be running for the main race itself. So we have done test races in 8 regions so far. And Saturday, the 24th of January, will be the last 2 regions that will be competing for the test race for this year. Also, to make sure that we mobilize the people of Boya and to showcase what we have in this region, we have brought back the International Trade Fair. That will begin on the 10th of February and to last 1 month to end on the 8th of March.
The test race, slated for January 24th, 2026, will serve as a dress rehearsal for the main event, allowing organizers to iron out any logistic wrinkles and fine-tune their preparation.
Up next is Selak-Chu, a presentation of Tabby Clarkson. Stay tuned.